Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We'll start with the honor guest parade. On cover, Chaplain Ed Hicks of the VFW Post 2692 Mount Holly, New Jersey will now lead us in prayer.
I shall now recite to you the Airman's Prayer. Pilot divine, and the Lord on all high, thine are the starry squadrons of the sky. Lead us who wings for freedom's sake now soar. Into our hearts thy faith and courage pour. Oh, hear our prayer. Set thou our course, whose trust is laid in thee. O thou who chartest all eternity. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Hicks. Recover. As Post 11 ages, so do our members. We see less and less of the younger generation wanting to join the ranks. As an organization, one of our greatest fears is, will there be enough younger veterans in our ranks with the desire to carry this tradition of honor into their future years? We have raised our families, and many of our children have found their separate paths in life, with many different interests. Every year, we see fewer and fewer familiar faces in attendance. Our ranks of legionnaires have grown thinner, and yes, sometimes I wonder, will we see this memorial service and this tradition of honor carried out for 100 years? Yes, today we honor Captain Emilio Carranza, but I think we should pause for a moment and recognize the small handful of remaining members that have dedicated themselves to upholding the tradition and the promise that our Legion forefathers made 96 years ago. These are the surviving members of our Legion family, which includes our Sons of the American Legion Squadron 11. These are the warriors that wore in the quiet shadows of this event. Our bodies may not be what they once were, but they are still vessels of strength and the desire to persevere that promise. Some of us have entered the final chapter of our life with humility, grace, and pride, carrying forward this tradition which today proudly marks 96 years without failure. Let us also recognize the family members that work side by side with our members at every event. Without the support of their family, we might not have this memorial service today. We also remember today our late commander, Lawrence Gladfelter, and Mrs. Esmeralda Hidalgo, who were an instrumental part of this memorial during so many years, and now they have recently joined Emilio Carranza in his flight to the eternity. Let us give a round of applause to this small group of members for their continuing efforts of dedication. Lastly, look over your shoulders, look all around, the many individuals, the many organizations, each and every one of you in attendance today. Thank you for your years of allegiance and your years of support to Post 11. This is what has cemented the bonds of goodwill for this ceremony today. In the context of goodwill, I ask you to please stand up, exchange hellos and names with the person next to you. This is the principle of goodwill that Captain Emilio Carranza gave to us. Hopefully, you will see familiar faces the next time we meet, and let this be the start of a new chapter of friendship in our lives. Now, give a final round of applause for all those in attendance here today. We can embrace Emilio's mission of goodwill as we unite as good neighbors and become friends. call Daryl McComber, Post Commander, Mount Holy, Post 11, who will give the welcome address.
Thank you. Welcome, honored guests, fellow Legionnaires, veterans, family, friends, and neighbors. Yesterday, July 12th, marked the 96th anniversary, but today is the 97th remembrance ceremony commemorating Captain Emilio Carranza. It has been the honor of the American Legion Mount Holly Post number 11 to be the keeper of his honor and legacy. It is a great sight to stand here today and see all who've come together to remember, celebrate, and carry on his mission of goodwill and camaraderie between two nations. Thank you to all who are present here today and to those who support this mission in various other ways. Without everyone, this tradition could not carry on. Today we are honored to have with us Venustiano Carranza, great-grandson of Captain Carranza, representatives from the consulates of Mexico, Consul of Political Affairs Carlos Geraldo Izzo, New York City, New York, Consul Carlos G. Obrador, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Consul Mariana Diaz Nagore, New Brunswick, New Jersey. We have Chemung Township Committeeman, Mount Holly Township, American Legion Department of New Jersey, Vice Commanders Thomas Dresner, Michael Smith, Walter Twan, and John Browse, National Executive Committee member Burley Hanna, and historian Dave Snooty. Also members of the American Burlington County Executive Committee, Sons of the American Legion, and Sons of the American Legion National Chaplain Jeffrey E. Hicks. Special guest we have today is DEOA Historical Association Productions President Kevin Titus and his aide Michael Esposito. To those who I've missed, I apologize. We have so many great individuals and organizations represented today. It'd be very time-consuming to name each and every one. Finally, a special thanks to the Wharton State Forest Manager Glenn Dees, Hernandez, Superintendent Chris Ford, and their staff who maintain this hallowed site year-round. Thank you.
Our first speaker is American Legion Department of New Jersey Vice Commander Thomas Dresner, representing Department Commander Charles Andy Jackson.
Good afternoon, everybody. Bear with me, but I'm going to, in the spirit of peace and goodwill, attempt to make my speech in both languages, English and Spanish. Family members of Captain Emilio Carranza Rodriguez, dignitaries from the United Mexican States, American Legion family members, and other guests. My name is Thomas Dresner. I am a state vice commander for the New Jersey American Legion. Unfortunately, the New Jersey American Legion state commander, Charles Andy Jackson, is unable to attend the memorial service today. He is participating in a military event on the battleship USS New Jersey. Commander Jackson asked me to send a warm welcome to everyone and to convey his regret for not being able to attend the memorial service. I am truly honored to speak on his behalf. Familiares del Capitán Emilio Carranza Rodríguez, dignitarios de los Estados Unidos Mexicanos, familiares de la Legión Americana y otros invitados. Mi nombre es Tomás Dresner. Soy vice comandante estatal de la Legión Americana de Nueva Jersey. Desafortunadamente, el comandante estatal de la Legión Americana de Nueva Jersey, Charles Andy Jackson, no puede asistir al servicio conmemorativo de hoy. Está participando en un evento militar a bordo del acorazado USS Nueva Jersey. El comandante Jackson me pidió que les enviara una cálida bienvenida a todos y que les transmitiera su pesar por no poder asistir al servicio conmemorativo. Es un gran honor para mí hablar en su nombre. Before I begin my other remarks, I would like to make some brief introductions. I will only introduce them in English. I believe he's not here. Past State Commander Burley Hanna was going to be present, but he is also serving as our National Executive Committee member of the National American Legion for the state of New Jersey. Please welcome past State Commander Steve Fisher. Steve currently manages all digital media for the New Jersey American Legion. I would also briefly like to introduce the New Jersey State American Legion Auxiliary President, actually representing the President, Charlene Gladden, who could not be here, is past State President Jane Babley. We also have on hand past State President Ella Patterson. And on the color guard for the New Jersey American Legion Auxiliary, Geraldine Fisher. And I would also like to recognize the New Jersey State Detachment Commander. Thank you. Rich Hodem, I apologize. And one more introduction. I would like to acknowledge State Commander Jackson's officers who are present. Please welcome State Vice Commander John Browse, along with his companion State Vice Commander Sarge. I'd also like to introduce Chaplain Robert Horn and the Department Historian David Snowdy. Captain Emilio Carranza Rodriguez was a pioneer in aviation. He was accepted to the Military Academy in Mexico City at the age of 18 and graduated in 1924 with honors. By the age of 22, he had learned how to fly in the Mexican Army's military aviation arm. He set several records for nonstop flights throughout his beloved country of Mexico and beyond. He conducted several goodwill flights between Mexico and other countries. His goodwill flight to the United States of America in 1928 helped to improve the relationship between the two countries, which still endures today. El Capitán Emilio Carranza Rodríguez fue un pionero de la aviación. Fue aceptado en la Academia Militar de la Ciudad de México a la edad de 18 años y se graduó con honores en el año 1924. A los 22 años ya había aprendido a volar en el Cuerpo de Aviación Militar del Ejército Mexicano. Estableció varios récords de vuelos sin escalas en todo su querido país de México y más allá. Realizó varios vuelos de buena voluntad entre México y otros países. Su vuelo de buena voluntad a los Estados Unidos de América. En el año 1928 contribuyó a mejorar las relaciones entre los dos países que aún perduran en la actualidad. Heroes like Captain Carranza inspired me to pursue aviation in the military since I was a child. I can remember seeing a U.S. Army helicopter flying over a field one day when I was 4 years old. It thrilled me. Imagine the thrill and excitement Emilio gave to the many children who saw him flying over a field. My desire and passion to become an aviator led me to become a pilot in the United States Army. I too, like Emilio, became a captain. Héroes como el Capitán Carranza me inspiraron a dedicarme a la aviación en el ejército desde que era niño. Recuerdo haber visto un helicóptero del ejército estadounidense sobrevolando un campo un día cuando tenía 4 años. Me emocionó. Imagínese la emoción y el entusiasmo que Emilio les dio a los muchos niños que lo vieron volar sobre un campo. Mi deseo y pasión por convertirme en aviador me llevaron a convertirme en piloto del ejército de los Estados Unidos. Yo también, como Emilio, llegué a ser capitán. The exploits of aviators like Captain Carranza have had an immense impact in the world of which we live today. Let us celebrate Emilio for his achievements and daring accomplishments. Let us continue to remember him for all that he has done to advance civilization and to improve our way of life. Las hazañas de aviadores como el Capitán Carranza han tenido un impacto inmenso en el mundo en el que vivimos hoy. Celebremos a Emilio por sus logros y sus atrevidas hazañas. Sigamos recordándolo por todo lo que ha hecho para hacer avanzar la civilización y mejorar nuestra forma de vida. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you to the Vice Commander Thomas Resner. Our next speaker is the Consul of Political Affairs, Carlos Gerardo Iso, from the Consulate of Mexico in New York City, representing Consul General Jorge Islas Lopez.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be and an honor to be here again in this commemoration of the life of Captain Emilio Carranza on behalf of the Consulate General of Mexico in New York. I recognize the consuls of Philadelphia and the consuls of New Brunswick in New Jersey that are here with us. Thank you as well to be here. And I will try to be brief. I know that we already hear about the life of Captain Carranza, about his goodwill flight. As we know, Captain Emilio Carranza was a talented pilot who challenged the aviation limits of his time. As an aviator, he contributed to the development of his industry by promoting its growth, but as a captain, he lived by the hallmarks of his career by serving faithfully his country, Mexico, regardless of the coast, and that coast was his life. His story reflects the values that always distinguish his actions. He was a person who served and sacrificed his life for a purpose greater than himself. I cannot think of a more accurate definition of a hero than what he did for us today. I can stress how deep is the gratitude of Mexico to the American Legion Post-11 for keeping Emilio's ideals and memory alive already for the 97th time. His life was taken prematurely by an unexpected accident, but Emilio opened the skies for our two great nations or almost 100 years ago. He understood that the importance of diplomatic relations with our countries. By honoring his memory today, we also honor his legacy. Carranza Goodwill Mission certainly continues since then as strengthens as the deep and fraternal friendship between Mexico and the USA. Like Carranza, I hope the courage will be the hallmark that allow us to execute this shared mission and arrive together safely at our destination. Captain Carranza, Capitán Carranza, vuela alto, muchas gracias por abrir este puente aéreo de amistad entre México y los Estados Unidos. Thank you very much.
Many thanks to the Consul of Political Affairs, Carlos Gerardo Iso. Our next speaker is Consul Mariana Diaz Nagore from the Consulate of Mexico in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for inviting me here today. I am honored to be here and would like to begin acknowledging Robert Barney, Captain Emilio Carranza, Memorial Committee Chair, the committee itself, Commandant Daryl McCumber, and the American Legion Mount Holly Post 11. Let me also acknowledge Venustiano Carranza Peniche, a member of the Carranza family, and Luis Gagiola, acting co-chairman, for being the bridge between the Consulate of Mexico in New Brunswick, as well as the consulates in New York and Philadelphia, and this important commemoration. I'm also delighted to see my colleagues here today, the Consul of Mexico in Philadelphia, Carlos Obrador, and Gerardo Iso from the Consulate General of Mexico in New York, to pay tribute to Captain Carranza's legacy. We are here today to mark the 90th anniversary of the great achievements and the life of Captain Emilio Carranza, often referred to as the Mexican Lindbergh. I hope you will let me refrain from telling any other story about Captain Carranza other than this one. In Mexico's history, he was a leader and a courageous and remarkable aviator whose record-breaking flights continue to inspire generations. 97 years is a remarkable legacy. And look what he has done. Captain Carranza's last great mission of goodwill truly enhanced the relationship between Mexico and the United States. And that mission stands today as an act of commitment to foster friendship and understanding between our nations and their peoples. I'm grateful you asked me to be here today, for Captain Emilio Carranza was a remarkable man of aerial achievements who stands as a strong symbol of goodwill between our nations. Thank you very much. Gracias a todas y a todos por su presencia.
Thanks a lot, Consul Mariana Diaz. Our next speaker is Consul Carlos Obrador, Consulate of Mexico in Philadelphia.
Muy buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, buenas tardes. It is an honor to join this 97th Captain Emilio Carranza Memorial Service. I would like to begin by thanking Chairman of the Captain Emilio Carranza Memorial Committee, Bob Barney, who, although he recently had an operation, as we all know, I would like to congratulate him because he is here And I would like to ask for a round of applause to our good friend Bob Barney, and all the best and good wishes for speedy recovery. Thank you very much. He has played, as you know, as many of you as well, a key role in commemorating this event and preserving the memory of Captain Carranza alive. Also, thank you, Acting Co-Chairman Luis Gagiola, also Commander of the Mount Holy American Legion for Post 11, Darrell McComber, and Community Leader Juan Garza for the invitation, and also for all your hard work to honor the Lindbergh of Mexico's mission of goodwill and preserving his memory. I extend a warm welcome to the Carranza's family representative, Ingeniero Venustiano Carranza, Emilio's second cousin and grandson of former President of Mexico, Venustiano Carranza, who honor us with his presence at this ceremony today. Also, to my esteemed colleagues, Consul of Mexico in New Brunswick, Mariana Diaz-Nagore, and Head of Press at the Consulate of General of Mexico in New York, Carlos Gerardo Iso, un gusto saludarles. As we approach the centennial of Captain Carranza's goodwill journey, we come together again today to commemorate a feat that marked a milestone in this strategic relationship between Mexico and the United States. A historic event that continues to symbolize friendship and collaboration between our neighboring nations. His journey was not just a flight. Carranza's legacy continues to inspire generations. It also reminds us of the importance of goodwill and cooperation as pillars to continue encouraging our exemplary bilateral relationship. Mexico and the United States are unwavering partners, friends. So let us continue to reflect on the lessons of unity and understanding that Captain Carranza's journey represents. Keep counting with our support to spread the word for the generations to come. Al día de hoy, el legado del capitán Emilio Carranza sigue construyendo exitosamente puentes de amistad y colaboración. Quiero además agradecer la participación de la comunidad mexicana y a los jinetes que el día de hoy engalanarán esta ceremonia. Cuenten siempre con el apoyo del Consulado de México en Filadelfia para que su hazaña continúe siendo transmitida de generación en generación. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
Many thanks to Consul Carlos Obrador. Our final speaker is Mr. Venustiano Carranza Peniche, representing the Carranza family.
Commander Darrell McComber, Mr. Bob Barney, members of the American Legion Post 11 in Mount Holy, representatives of the Mexican Foreign Service, representatives of all the military and civilian organizations, and everyone in attendance. I would like, first of all, I want to apologize for my English. I'm not a good bilingual man. I hope you can understand my message, but because of my pronunciation, I can communicate real what I feel. History is a discipline that gives people and country the interpretation from the different perspectives. Traditionally, it sets that be accompanied by vision of the one who writes it. What story do I want to write? The story what I want to tell you today is a story of love or hate. It's a story of consolation or a tragedy. I choose what considered the real reason that brought my uncle Emilio Carranza to these lands. It's a story of two men who lived his lives in parallel. I am referring to Colonel Charles Lindbergh and Captain Emilio Carranza. Both were born at the beginning of the 20th century, as well as the aviation, an activity of which they both felt a deep passion. The two decided along whole flights as a specialty. The two meld into a close friendship as a result of the many similarities. Finally, the two cross their life between glory and tragedy. After his flight from New York to Paris, Charles Lindbergh made a trip to Mexico to show the goodwill in between countries. Destiny awaited him to person who would be his wife, Anne Morrow. And Emilio was also awaited by fate to meet Charles Lindbergh, who would take him to the Ryan engine factory to order the manufacture of replica of the Spirit of St. Louis, Lindbergh's plane. What else did these two men have in common is a youth? They were a type of dreamers. Those who, when he wake up, they carried them out, regardless of the obstacles of their rise. They were risky, but one of those who were emotion are their compass. The rudder, intelligence, and decision making turning into the action. It says that soul lived when he fulfilled the mission. Emilio Carranza fulfilled the mission to which he came to this land at a very young age, the age of 22. He was already an experienced pilot. In aviation, an aviator, you cannot talk about improvised. He was a member of the Mexican Air Force, which in 1915 has been created by his father's brother, the President of Mexico, Venustiano Carranza, my grandfather. In 1920, Mexican General Álvaro Obregón assassinated his uncle, the President of Mexico, and took over the government. Carrying the surname Carranza was not easy to Emilio. The reason that he took the untimely flight the night of July 13 was a night under unfavorable weather conditions, and to the directly with orders received by his government, he is the accident. However, like a great Greek tragedy, solemn characters emerge from it, which fate also plays with them, and in the case of concern us today, here, they take the baton of heroes and become protagonists of the story. I am referring to you, all officers members of American Legion Post 11. Before I get finished my participation, I would like to recall another of the virtues of Emilio Carranza. His life and his death was an inspiration for another Mexicans. And now, minutes ago, I know that another American persons. Because my father, when my grandfather died, the father of my father, he was 12 years old. But it was Emilio, his cousin, who inspired to become an aeronautical engineer, pilot aviator, and volunteer of the 231st Fighter Squadron, in where he served in direction of operation in the Pacific Theater in the Second World War. On behalf of the Carranza family, former president, my uncle Emilio, my father Jesus, and myself, we will be eternally grateful to American Legion Post 11 to be present at least for the last 94 years. Thank you very much.
Many thanks to Mr. Venustiano Carranza Peniche. And now let us thank all of our speakers, and we will now present the greets. Yeah, please, everyone presenting a greet, please go to my right on there. Thank you. On behalf of the Carranza family, Mr. Venustiano Carranza Peniche. On behalf of the General Consulate of Mexico in New York City, Political Affairs Consul Mr. Carlos Gerardo Iso, on behalf of the Consul General Jorge Isla Lopez. On behalf of the Consulate of Mexico in Philadelphia, Consul Carlos Obrador Garrido Cuesta. On behalf of the Consulate of Mexico in New Brunswick, Consul Mariana Diaz Nagore. New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, Division of Parks and Forestry, Wharton State Forest, Manager Glendalice Hernandez, and Historian John Hebel. On behalf of the Shamong Township, New Jersey, Committeeman Neil Wilkinson. On behalf of Sociedad Mexicana de Estudios Aeronáuticos Latinoamericanos and Casa del Aire, Mrs. Mariel Paqueiro Absalón. On behalf of the Ballet Folclórico Mexicano de Nueva York, members of the Ballet Folclórico Mexicano de Nueva York. On behalf of the American Legion Department of New Jersey, Department Commander Thomas Tom Bresner. On behalf of the Department Commander Charles Andy Jackson. On behalf of the Burlington County Executive Committee, Commander A.C. Wilburn and Vice Commander Guy Gibb. On behalf of the Sons of the American Legion National Headquarters, Chaplain Jeff Hicks, Junior National Executive Committee Man of New Jersey, Bob Phillips. On behalf of the Sons of the American Legion Detachment of New Jersey, SAL Detachment Commander Rich Holland and Vice Commander Bill Murphy. On behalf of the Sons of the American Legion Burlington County Committee, First Vice Commander Don Viscosio, Chaplain Lawrence Scott, County SAL Chairman Ramila E.C. Scott. On behalf of the American Legion Auxiliary Department of New Jersey, American Legion Auxiliary Police Department President Jane Babley, and New Jersey American Legion Auxiliary Color Guard Geraldine Fisher. On behalf of the American Legion, Guy Doran Sr. and Guy Doran Jr., Post 5 to 6, Ms. Scott and Squadron Commander Don Viscuso. On behalf of the Central Lodge 44 Free Accepted Mason, Worship Master Tom Viscoso and Lodge Secretary Jeff Hicks. On behalf of the Tabernacle Historical Society, Eric Allen, Bella Allen, Amelia Allen, Brooke Allen Watson, and Beckett Watson. On behalf of the Indian Mills Historical Society, Ms. Janet Bowers. On behalf of the Woodland Township Historical Society, members of the American Legion Mount Holy Host 11. On behalf of the Medford VFW 7677, Commander Mark Preston. On behalf of the Empire City Motorcycle Club, Gary Papushek, Eric Ross, Scott Laney, Shannon Storm, Gabriel Rivas. On behalf of the Mount Holy, New Jersey Elks Lodge 848, Veterans Committee Chair Nelson Rivera, Exaltated Brother Mejo.